Well, I am excited because I've got Jessica Velazquez, and she is a home design consultant. And we're really going to talk about the buyer's remorse, but also it could be design fatigue because I know, you buy all these wonderful wallpapers and tiles and paint colors, and then you bring them home and you're like, it doesn't fit, it doesn't work. You put it in the corner, it's in the basement, in the garage, sometimes it's in the attic. So I wanted to bring Jessica on just to kind of help us better understand, what are some of the things that maybe we need to stop doing, but in order to create the space that we truly love and enjoy. So, Jessica, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Janet, for having me here. It's an honor. I love talking to organizers. You guys do such a noble and important work, which I believe is the first thing everyone should do before they start styling their home. So thank you for having me here.
So, before we get into that, what made you decide to get into home design?
Well, I was that girl that would change her room probably once a month growing up. And so I just seemed like a natural progression from high school to college. And that's what I did. I studied interior design for 5 years. I'm originally from Panama City, Panama. And so I did 2 years in Panama, and then I did 3 more years in Toronto, Canada, which is where I'm at.
Mm. So, is my first question is buyer's remorse and design fatigue, are they same? Are they different?
They're not.
Okay.
Actually, buyer's remorse is a symptom of design fatigue.
Mm.
They're not, they could be related, absolutely, but the buyer's remorse comes first. And then you're like, okay, this is too much. I have design fatigue.
Mm. So, what are some of the things, I guess, in your experience, what really causes both of those?
Good question. Um, Buyer's remorse is the regret of, something that you bought and did not meet your expectations. Now, if we transfer that to our home, it's usually because it didn't fit. You spent more money than you wanted to, and now you don't have enough money to buy other things that probably were more important. Or you have the regret that it doesn't look the way you thought it would be. And all of those things combined, overspending, under delivering, is what takes you to design fatigue. And I have clients that experience both. The buyer's remorse, sometimes I call it remodeler's remorse, usually comes when, let's say you want to furnish your home, your living room, and you paint. Very, very common. People that buy their homes usually want to paint first. That's the first thing. And it's very natural because we want to put our stamp, and that's the least expensive thing to do. We're going to paint first. But by painting first, you restricted yourself. And now every other choice that you make has to match the color that you painted in. Or you chose a beautiful area rug. You walked into a store, it was in a absolutely amazing price, and you bought it. Now that rug is going to restrict the next choices. And I keep saying that we're allowing sales and promotions to dictate our style. So
Mm.
buyer's remorse can come through many different channels, making decisions that are not aligned with the vision, buying one by one, following sales, following an influencer. All of those things can bring us buyer's remorse. And the antidote to that is buying with a vision. So I'll give you a really quick example, or not an example, like a real life scenario of why we shouldn't do that. As an interior designer, you hire me, and the first thing I'm going to do is analyze what you need, what you have, your space, what needs to be solved or fixed in that space, and why. What are your priorities? I would ask you, what is your budget? Once I have all those ingredients, all those answers, I'm going to come up with a solution, a design solution that fits all of them. And then I'm going to present to you a mood board with options until you say, okay, I like this, I love that, change that area rug, etc. And you're going to ask me, okay, how much is this going to cost? And does it fit your budget? I'm going to say, yes, that's how designers do it. So if that's how professionals are doing it, why are not homeowners doing it the same way? Homeowners should be analyzing. I know it sounds boring. Everybody wants to do the shopping. Everybody wants to choose the pillows and the accessories. That's a sexy thing. Nobody wants to do the work. And quite honestly, as designers, this is what takes the most time because we want to get it right for our clients. So, homeowners, please get it right for yourself and analyze, okay, what do I really need to buy? Does it fit? What's the right
Mhm.
size? And then buy with that board, a vision board, a collection of things that you know exactly what you need to buy at, to achieve that end result. But when we buy one and then the next thing and the next thing, you're most likely going to end up in some kind of buyer's remorse. And the worst would be design fatigue, which is overspending and under delivering.
Mm. And, so many things came to my mind when you were talking, Jessica. Number
Yes.
one, it's like the vision of sometimes when I go into someone's home and they've got these little package near the door because that's all the stuff they need to return, like the curtains and this and the that, because it just didn't work. But also, as you were describing your process, it's almost like the same thing with organizing. It's like, I understand people want all the pretty bells and the whistles when they see all the organizing baskets and containers and this and that. But I'm like, let's get rid of stuff first. Let's get rid of everything you don't use and
Yes.
need first, and then organize what's left. And what I'm hearing, it's like you really take the overwhelm out of the project. It's like, let's look at the space. Let's really analyze the space and look at your likes, your dislikes, but also some of the things that you already have. And let's
Yes.
kind of work around it because you're right. You bring that rug in, and it's like, I've seen people, they've got the rug. Okay, now we've got to decorate around the rug. Well, we've got to decorate around the wall coloring of whatever the room is. So that's right. It's like really kind of creating a vision, which is
Yeah.
like what I tell clients is like, what is the vision of this room? Is it going to be, a spare bedroom, a home office, a craft room? Okay, we've got that down. So now let's work towards that. So I like the way it's just like you make it simple. You
Yeah.
take the overwhelm, the simple, and you save them money because again, you're buying all
Yes.
that stuff. You don't like it. It's either going to become clutter or you're going to have to like,
Yeah.
I have to take it back. I got to get my money back. And so I like what you said about that.
It's amazing. The stats are amazing. How many people suffer from buyer's remorse, and it increases during Black Friday. Like
Wow.
weeks after Black Friday, people are returning things left and right.
Wow.
Um, I I recommend everyone that before you buy something, you ask yourself several questions.
Okay.
Does it fit? And most people will, if they're, most people that want to follow that will measure the wall. But I want to take it one step further. Don't just measure the wall. Think about the layout because you might measure the wall and say, oh, the couch fits perfect. It's the right size for this wall. And then you come home and you realize that that's not where you really wanted to put the couch. The couch fit better on a different layout, like right across from that wall. And now it fits the space, but it doesn't give enough space for you to walk between the wall and the couch, just to give you an example. So think about the layout. Does it fit the space? Does it fit the layout? Does it match your unique design code? I don't like talking about style because it's confusing. It's like, am I farmhouse or minimalist? Am I boho or eclectic? Rather look for what that unique design code is particularly to you. So does it match your unique design code? Then does it support your lifestyle? It
Mhm.
might be beautiful in the influencer's home who entertains and travels a lot, but maybe you're a homebody and you don't bring people in. You may have one or two couples, and now that piece of furniture that you bought doesn't really fit your lifestyle. Number four, does it enhance your life your home life vision. We all have a vision of how we want our life to be inside our homes. So does it enhance that vision? Maybe it's not right now, but is it working towards that goal? And then does it fit my budget? Because we don't want to spend all our money or most of it in this one beautiful, stylish piece of furniture and then not have enough money to buy what we really needed to buy. So you ask yourself those 5 questions. And if the answer is yes, then you got a winner.
Hmm. It's amazing, Jessica, how your questions are almost similar to some of the questions I ask my clients. Of course, does it fit? That's when we're talking about the
Yes.
closet. But also, is it, really reflective of where you are now or where you want to be? I work with a
Yes.
client, she was a retired principal. And I was like, you don't really need all those suits and anything because you're retired now. You've got these beautiful clothes, and let's get rid of the suits and things like that. And also your style. Like now, a lot of people we are wearing a lot of separates now, so we don't really
Mhm.
need all of those suits and all of that,
Matchy, matchy.
profession matchy things anymore. So I like that, but I really like the way you just said your unique style. And I think some people don't really lean into that. They
Yeah.
just big pieces here, there, and there. And then sometimes, of course, we get all the different little hand-me-downs, which is probably for another show where we can talk about that. But, I really like all those questions because then all those questions, if you ask yourself that, you can save yourself some
Yeah.
money, you can save yourself time,
Yeah.
frustration. I can go down the list. So thank you, Joe, so much for sharing that. So I always like to ask my guests, like, how do you stay organized? Because you're a businesswoman, your wife, your mother. I know you're probably involved in the community, but how do you do it? Like, do you have a special tool? Do you have special routines? But how do you stay organized?
The first thing I want to say is that my home is not perfect. I consider my home inspiring and organized, but it's not perfect. And I have times when I go through the cleanup and you'll see, oh, what's going on? It's kind of the storm before the calm. But I want to say that because people tend to think that as designers, your home is always beautiful and stylish and all that. But I want to remind everyone that a home that is inspiring is not perfect. It just matches your unique design code and it shows your personality and it supports your lifestyle. That's what makes a home inspiring because it's you in that home, not the influencer style. So to keep it organized, I have a place for everything. And my kids will know that they know where to find the scissors or the tape or the brushes. I know where everything is or should go if everybody follows that. So I have a place for everything. I don't tend to keep things that I don't necessarily use. I go through my stuff frequently and I talk to my stuff. I go to my closet and if there's something that I haven't used in 2 years, I tend to get rid of it. And I usually give them, if it's, let's say, a shirt that I really love, say, okay, I'm going to give you another 6 months or another year if I really, really love it. And then if I didn't use it, it's out. I don't create more storage for my stuff. I have my dresser. If things don't fit in that dresser, then I know I need to get rid of stuff. Most people will tend to buy another dresser or another bookshelf. I just try to keep things contained, and if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. And it cleanses my soul per se. So that would be something that I would say: have a place for everything. Declutter consistently. If you don't use things, then get rid of them and don't keep things in case you need them. Because chances are that if you're not using them, you may not use it and somebody else can. Somebody else will benefit from using it.
And that is so true. That is so true. Jessica, I could talk to you all day. So how can listeners and those watching this video, how can they connect with you?
Oh, well, I would tell them come hang out with me on Instagram. My handle is interiors underscore by underscore Jessica, interiors by Jessica. I teach a lot. I love providing value and education. And I also have design school for homeowners. So people can find it just like that, designschoolforhomeowners.com. It's where I teach my framework, where I talk about the process that I mentioned to you. And I teach how to make mood boards, how to measure, how to create layouts, how to shop within your budget. And I have a brand new accessorizing module coming up that you can buy on its own. So yeah, come hang out with me and learn how to do those things, because when we have a framework and a system, we are able to bring that inner decorator that we all have out.
Mm. And of course, I will have all of Jessica's links in the show notes, as well as you can follow her on social media as well. Jessica, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us today.
Thank you, Janet. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.